guys, Pitbikesonic here. Yesterday on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook I did a little post asking if anyone was interested in doing a YouTube Q&A, and I got a lot of questions. Luckily all of them were about pit bikes, fortunate for me. So today I'm just going to go through a few of the questions. I'm not going to go through all of them because it'd be rather a long video, but I'm going to go through a few of the questions that some of you guys asked yesterday. I would say a 160 if you're planning just to use the bike for fun and track days. The engines are a lot stronger actually now. A lot of the 140 newest engines are using 160 bottom ends just because they've got a bit of a stronger gearbox and that, and obviously can handle the 140 power a lot better. So if you are just using it for fun, I'd highly recommend a 160. The only downside to the 160 is because the 140s are so popular, parts are a bit more expensive for the 160. If you go in racing, I'd recommend getting a 140 because obviously you can use the 140 in the 160 class where you can't use a 160 in the 140 class. So yeah, if you're going to use a bike for fun and track days, I'd definitely recommend getting a 160 engine. Cheers Luca Hopkins for that question. A young talented lad coming riding Ovale this season in the No Ovale Cup, so best of luck to you. I'm probably not the best person to ask about the new YouTube channel, how to get it going, because I've only really started myself. The only thing I can really give you advice on is obviously people always see you, you always put videos of you going around the track and setting fast laps and things like that. So what people I think really like to see is the background stuff that they don't see when they're not at race meetings. So like you preparing your bike in the gazebo, what you do before race meetings, after race meetings. So I think people are really interested in that. I think you'll do a lot better yourself because you're a hell of a lot younger than me, and the audience would like to see the youngsters coming through. So yeah, that's my advice. Really, always share your content on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. That'll help you get your views more up, but I definitely recommend it for you, mate, to get YouTube going, especially at a young age like yourself. The training I do when I'm not off the bike, I'm a bit of a stint person. I'll have stints in, like, I'll go a few months and I won't do anything, and then I'll go a few months, oh I really fancy going for a run, so I'll do a couple of months of running. Because of this recent coronavirus, I've been doing a lot of, oh it's not really mountain biking living in Norfolk, but cross-country biking. So yeah, I do a lot of fitness. I try and do the park run every week until obviously this coronavirus stopped it. So I do quite a bit of running. Probably the most I do is about 10 miles. But yeah, I don't do any weights. I just purely do running and recently a bit of cycling. Before race meetings or on the way to race meetings in the van, and while I'm at race meetings relaxing, I'm listening to not such a well-known DJ, but I reckon he will be big at some point soon, as DJ MikeyP. His stuff's really good. I really enjoy listening to his sets. I'll put a link in the description below to link you to his stuff. His stuff's really good, and I do honestly believe it probably gives me a couple of tenths of a second a lap. My go-to song before a race is Clubfoot by Kasabian. And if anyone knows me at Cool Fab race meetings, they will also know I am the local DJ in the evenings, going by the name of DJ JK. Good question, Ollie Fergie. Not many people bring it up because it's kind of a basic thing. I have recently bought this season, which I'm probably not going to use now because of this whole situation. I bought a Transit that's been converted into a little motorhome, so the garage is underneath and the bed is on top with a little living area in front. But yeah, you can use tents. When me and my wife Wendy started, we first started in tents. We started with a little pop-up originally, which we could both never fit in. And then we upgraded to a big tent. Then we got a caddy van. and now we got ourselves a little motorhome. So yeah, mostly, yeah, 90% of the tracks, I think, apart from the new track Ella, which is on an old runway, you can use a tent anywhere because they've all got some sort of grass somewhere you can pitch your tent. So yeah, definitely recommend. Obviously that's the cheapest way to start, with a tent. Get one with a big porch on the front, because obviously that's somewhere to put all your bikes and that at night, keep them a bit more secure. Right, Reese Peacock. Been talking to him quite a lot recently. New lad, starting to do B&B and Cool Fab this year. Doesn't live too far away from me in Norwich. Yeah, good question. It's also an extremely hard question to answer, because everyone's riding style is different. Everyone weighs different weight, and it's so hard to be able to talk about good suspension setup, because you really, and plus I'm not that brilliant. I'm lucky enough I've got someone called Sean Whitaker who's really good at setting the bike up, and he's helped me a lot. But all I can say is DNM rear shock, fully adjustable. There's a range of different forks you can get, and all I can say is just put everything in the middle. Put your clicks on your rebound in the middle. See, I don't even know all the different things up and down. Just put everything in the middle and work from there. Go on a track day and just completely go one way and completely go the other, and try and find where you find's good. But at race meetings there will be someone there who will help you out with suspension setup. It is really difficult to say in a video how to do it, but yeah, if you at race meetings there will be there someone to help you set it up, and if they know what they're doing they will be able to set it up with you just sitting on the bike in the paddock. So yeah, if not, I'll meet you at some point, Reese, and we can get Sean to help you out. At this precise moment, no, I don't. 2 years ago now, I had a 2008 GSX-R 750. I sold that really because we were getting married. Me and my wife were getting married at the time, and we were going on a honeymoon and things like that. So I sold that. I am looking to get a road bike again sometime in the future. I was hoping I'll get one this year, but that's not going to happen because by the time we're all allowed out again it's going to be winter. So hopefully next year I'll have a road bike. Obviously I was working in a bike shop for a couple of months, so I was riding a different range of bikes there, so I have narrowed it down to the next bike I would like on the road. Another really difficult question. Getting sponsors in any form of racing, from British Superbikes all the way down to us doing pit bikes, is extremely difficult, and it's even probably more difficult for us because at the end of the day we're racing pit bikes for fun. We're not doing it for a living. We do it because we enjoy it, and so it is really hard to get pit biking. But the advice I can give you is massive one, it's Instagram. I learned this from my old good friend, he still is a good friend, James Blackburn, who doesn't race pit bikes anymore, but he uses it for his road bike Instagram page, MT10 Gym I think it is, so go check him out. He uses it and he gets a lot of stuff, free stuff, because his Instagram is so big. Instagram is massive for companies. The days of where companies all they really wanted was a bike just advertised in you, they don't want it anymore. They do, but Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is more important because a lot more people look at that stuff now than they do even look at the side of your bike. So yeah, I'd hit Instagram hard, be a nice person around the track, and just get yourself out there. Obviously it helps being up the front of the grid, but you can get sponsorships even if you're not.
On the Motor Team bikes, King has gone down. Well, Jamie King, the championship leader, has gone down, is trying to get
Team Raider leading this race, leading the championship. We can hear some scraping. Who's that? Jamie King's down.
Jamie King,
Jamie
yes,
King is down at the final corner. Wow, that is big news there from this race, and the championship leader, he's back up, he's okay. I could hear this
place, and indeed it was past the number 7 of Jackson, and unfortunately Jamie King, well, I think after just clearing some dirt that has gone in the bike.
Cheers, Jack. Jack if you don't know Jack, he's probably my new teammate for this season. If you watch my Spain vlog, he was the guy who was with me most of the time. So recently, yeah, good friend now, me and Jack. And yeah, I do. If you ride in the wet, you do. I think problem is 2 of those races in the wet last season that I crashed in, I was leading, and it's really hard to gauge the pace when you're leading in the wet. And both of those times I went over the top, and one of them I had a massive lead as well, which I'm still hitting myself now. But yeah, in the wet, it's really, I think it's just down to, it's so tricky to like gauge the pace of the race, and obviously if you're not winning, you're trying to catch other people and you land up going too hard and you crash them as well. So yeah, that's why I crash so much in the wet. I don't know my limits. Right, Daniel Bush, this is a really difficult question because this is a real split down the middle with all the pit biking community, whether do you run an oil cooler or not. I do run an oil cooler, I don't know if you can see from here. My logic is that if you run if the oil cooler was on the bike when I bought it, so whatever you say about the Chinese, especially at the moment, with their engineering, not so much this disease sort of thing, if it was there for a reason, then it must have a purpose. So in my case, I think, well, I'll run it. But there are a hell of a lot of people who don't run oil coolers because they say it's not used and it's dead weight. It's not needed. So it's really hit and miss. I don't think it's going to gain you a lot of performance running one or not running one. Is it going to help the life of your engine? I'm not sure. I have run a season without one, never had any problems, and I'm now running with one and I've never had any problems. But my argument is, if it was on there when you bought it, then it must be on there for a reason. So that's what I'm going to say. Right, M2Rs and CWs. I just want to say there are loads more bikes on the market. I think a lot of people think of CWs and M2Rs because they were kind of the first 2 bikes that were on the market sold as supermotos ready to race, and you struggle to get M2Rs now, especially the same as mine. They do newer shapes, but they are 110 frames, not CRF 70 frames. All of them are very good bikes straight out of the box, but they're never going to be good out of the box for you. You're always going to change something, even if from the bottom price end all the way up to the most expensive park bikes. Even though a park bike is going to be the best bike because the most expensive, they're all pretty much hand built here. They're always, nothing's ever going to be perfect for you. Suspension's always going to be out, and you're always going to land up changing things for yourself. So I would say just choose one of those bikes, and then go out, ride it, and you're going to change stuff to you. And this, from when I bought it, there is not much left from when I started. So yeah, choose one and then have a play about with it, and you're going to change it to how you want it. Alright, cheers guys for giving me all those questions to answer for my first Q&A. Like I said, there's a lot more that came in just in that, but I just chose a few out. So I will try and make this maybe a monthly thing if it gets plenty of views and people enjoy it, so I'll probably carry on doing it. So cheers guys for that, I really appreciate it. Right, I don't know if you've been watching Twitter lately, but a lot of professional riders have been doing little funny videos, like funny stories, shall I say, of what have been happening over their careers. Jamie Whitman's been doing it, Simon Crafar, all British riders, British Superbike riders, World Superbike riders have been doing it. So I thought I'm going to do one myself. So it was 2015, it was at Red Lodge with B&B. It was the last round of the season. It was Saturday night. We were all round Matthew Bolsover, British champion in 160s and 140s at B&B. He was actually going to win the 160 championship that next day. And we all round his. I think pretty much all the paddock must have been round his. Everyone got completely drunk. His bike was a mess. It was full of beer cans and glasses and everything. Everyone was having a really good time, really loud music. The whole paddock was round. At Red Lodge, they locked the gate probably at about 11 o'clock at night, just for security and that, just to help people, bikes not get nicked. And loads of people have gone out for meals in the evening, come back, gate's locked. We're all on the other side of the gate, partying hard and that, having a good time. They shout some of us over, look, we can't get back in, these big steel gates, they're locked. So in our drunken wisdom, someone managed to get an angle grinder out, and we started cutting the gate up to get these people back in. There must have been about 6, 7 of them, all vans parked up alongside of the road wanting to get back into the track. We cut the gate up, everyone got back in, big cheer, carried on partying probably till about 2, 3 in the morning. It weren't until we got up in the morning and Ian Harris, who was the spares person at the time at the BMB race meeting, came up to us and said, "You should have just knocked on my van door. I had the key all along." I go past Red Lodge now and again now because I don't live too far away from it, and that gate is still chopped up on the side of the road. Cheers for watching, guys. I'll see you for the next vlog.